Thanks for tuning into this video on using the electric outboard motor. At Furnivall, we're passionate about the environment. We've been grateful to receive a grant from the Port of London Authority, which has enabled us to purchase and install our first electric outboard motor. This video will provide you with guidance on how to set up the electric outboard and put it away after use. Right, so this is the batteries. We need to disconnect them once we have isolated them from this power supply. So as we can see, all the batteries are pretty much nearly 100%. They generally won't be 100%, they'll be in the 90s or 98, but that's all fine. Sliding drawer out. Yeah, we can then unplug the Andersons. Yep. They just unclip, they're stiff, don't come undone, don't pull them with the wires, and pull them with the plastic. There should be 4 of them. Okay, so carrying the batteries with the handles, not the cables, very important, just the handles.
We'll go right hand across, lifting it up, both hands to one across.
Okay, this is a tilt lock lever, 2 positions, in auto, or tilt, and lock. When it's in auto, the engine will tilt up. When it's in lock, it won't move. Yeah. Right, so cocking the engine. So you do this when it's on the back of the launch and it's not in operation. Make sure first of all that it's tightened on. So the transom clamps are tightened. Turn this, make sure this is turned to auto tilt. And then when you lift it up, it will lock itself into place depending on how high you want it. So that's the highest adjustment. To move it down again, this is very important. You need to take the weight off of the engine, not just try and move this lever. Because if you try really hard to move this lever, you'll break the weld here and it breaks it. So look here, I'm just taking the weight of the motor and then this moves, look. And we can put the motor back down again. Very important. On, off. So position the motor in the centre of the shell, space of the transom, and then tighten the transom clamp. Very important to do that. Making sure that the clamp is fully on the boat.
Okay, that's for one, please.
So everything is level, the motor's level and secured onto the shell. We can then connect the engine, just ensuring that the isolator is off. Connect the Anderson, only go one way, negative, negative, positive, positive. Won't fit the other way, just push it in so it's secure. Because the engine's not in use, I'm going to tilt it up out of the water. That's just in case when the water goes down, the prop isn't going to go into the riverbed. So there's 4 batteries. We've got a little sticker on them says black end forwards. So that's the black means the black cable. So this end towards the front of the launch. There's a little cover, mainly there to keep the muck off. The batteries are IP67, so they're waterproof anyway. And it keeps the sun off as well, stops it getting hot. So to put the batteries in, there's a little foam container. Each one just goes into the slot. Give it a little wiggle and it's in. And then each battery has its own Anderson or red connector, which will only go in one way. And we just feed them all in. Put the cover over. Good. And then we can turn the isolator switch to on. That means the whole system's connected. If we look here, there's a little monitor that will say 100%. Just connected, cover on, then it's just a case of just checking the engine turns on. I just press the power button there, so on the right hand side, easy peasy, you get to see the voltage of the motor and the right, disconnecting the batteries. We just need to make sure the motor's turned off. The isolator is centre off. That cuts that off, which is the switch here. We then need to unplug the batteries. Do that any which way you like. The connectors just need to pull out. Lift the battery out. Put it on the right line. Okay, unplugging the electric, just unplug the spray Anderson. I'll generally put it in there, just get it out of the way. Slide the fuel cord onto the motor so we don't lose it. They're magnetic, so they generally stick to anything metal and they're easily lost. So generally for this you probably need 2 people, one person in the launch, one person out. I'm going to tilt it down for now. I'm pretty strong so I can just lift it straight up.
It's like James Bond coming out of the water.
placing the battery back on the tray. Same as it would be in the boat. Plug it back in. Well done. So when I plug the turn the switches back on, here you should hear the fans fire up. And then the display will eventually update to indicate it's charging. There we go, it's doing it quite quickly. Sometimes that can take up to 5 minutes. Okay, so reattaching it to the where it's stored. If we look, it's tilted at the minute, so just need to check it's on auto tilt, and then using the little lever, which is in my right hand here, I can just move this up a little bit so I can move the lever and put it so it's flat. To make it simple for yourself, have this end towards the wall and then lifting onto the plank. See, nothing bending, nothing difficult.